What's going on, guys? Philip at Trade Genius. We are going to discuss what this chart means. This is the alt market. We're going to discuss what these different intervals mean that we have highlighted here, because it's going to be important for your alt trading. We haven't discussed too much in the latest alt videos, but I think it's time to address them and look at the overall market structure and just talk about where we've come from, how the market's behaving, and what we can expect going forward. I think there's good news and there's bad news, but there's more good news than bad news. So that's a good thing. So we'll dive into that chart. All right, guys, let's dive into this video.
Trade Genius.
Really quick, guys, if you want to join us in the room, $3.99 package gets you the indicators, the instructional videos that come with that, the Trade Sniper indicator, which by itself is just really, really good on all time frames, all products, futures, cryptos, stock, ETFs. Very integral part of the system that we use to trade now. And also you get access to the chat room where it's a lot of activity and a lot of different things going on every single day. So lots of ways to make money on that. All right, so look forward to seeing you in the room. Again, check that out, $3.99, 12 months, very economical. All right, so what does this chart mean? Basically, what we're looking at is the others BTC USD. So this is what the altcoin market is priced in, and it excludes the top 15 coins, because I think most of the time when we're looking at altcoins or you hear about altcoins, they're not in the top 15 for the most part. So there's obviously some solid plays in there, but I think when you're looking at the health of the altcoin market, you really need to look at the majority of those coins. So I like to use the others BTC USD just for that purpose. Okay. So that being said, let's take a look at what this all means. So what we have are two different colors. What do they mean? Well, the turquoise color is basically Q4 to Q1. So from those last 3 months of the year to the first 3 months of the year. So 6 months in there, and highlighting that area because typically that's a good spot to come out of the areas of pullbacks in the market, get long, and then reap the rewards of getting long. The red areas, or the reddish areas, are your summer months. And more often than not, it's not a good time for the alt market. And I bring that up because, here we are getting into summer. So let's take a look at this. Now, this goes back to as early as November 2015, obviously a very immature alt market, not a lot of projects, not like what we saw when we kind of exploded on the scene with altcoins in 2017 and all the ICO projects, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of junk projects came out of that. But we also have some pretty solid ones that came out of that as well. So without getting too far into that, though, I just wanted to concentrate on how the altcoin market behaves through the course of the year in these cycles. So what I recommend is, on the whole, is kind of zooming out and taking and keeping these like weekly charts up and understanding where we are in the cycle. So here we are right now as we approach getting into summer, right? And basically, these are the areas where you want to be careful now. Have we topped out yet? I think we're fairly close. If you look at the RSI and the stochastic, generally when the stochastic is especially up in these areas at these readings, when we're in the red zone, that's usually an area that you want to make sure that you're being careful with your long exposure to alts. Here was the area of red summer months, and you look at where the stochastic was very overbought. Same thing over here. This summer months actually saw a run up all the way into July. What was different about 2016? Well, that was a halving year, right? So here we are, another halving year. So yeah, we could possibly see a continued run for a little while longer, but be prepared for a decent sized pullback as we've seen in every single summer zone. So this was a pretty steep pullback. There was another pretty steep pullback in 17. 2018, a severe pullback. This was the elongated alt market, which also extended more downside, never really got out of the bear market, even though we did have a little bit of a bump, small alt season through that Q4, Q1 2019 area. But again, summer months of 2019, a big pullback. Now, it's the post-summer months that you want to focus in on, because those areas, okay, so after the red, and getting into the next blue, those are the areas you want to concentrate on getting position, right? So in here, you had a little more downside, but you more than made up for that continued down move after getting into the November month by this big move up. So again, these start in November. Again, position into November, boom, nice move up. Position into November, a little bit of down move, and then boom, move up. Position into November, nice move up, right? Okay, so that's very consistent. So just bear in mind that we may be topped out here for a bit on the alts, if not, now, maybe in a couple of weeks, a la 2016, because those are the, that's one thing we have in common with that is the halving cycle, post-halving cycle, right? And then getting repositioned for your larger swing trades now in November. Not to say you can't make money in between these months. I'm just saying that when you look for getting long again for alt season, because there's a couple plays. I mean, you can play your stronger altcoins that do have swing moves on the smaller charts, smaller time frame charts, or you just stick to Bitcoin, swinging that on the smaller time frames in between these zones. But when you get into November, typically, you want to start to get positioned long. Start looking at what were the best performers in the previous Q1, Q4 eras and focus on those. Okay. So that's the way to play the alt market as I see it. And I think there's great gains to be had going forward because from a macro standpoint, if you look at what we've done with the altcoin market, this is actually pretty bullish. I know it seems like we've been in a big altcoin bear market. And the reason for that is because a lot of coins were bought up in here, right? We haven't really returned to those levels. But I do think we do see them. So if you're bag holding, which that's not uncommon, I do think that those levels come back and we see those. And I think we go much higher actually on the whole. Now, it may concentrate into a smaller amount of coins that you have to be prepared for, right? So not every single coin that is a bag holder might come back to previous levels because more of the cap is concentrated in fewer coins. That is something you need to be keep in mind. But I do think overall, a lot of what we saw back here in this area, 2017, 2018, I think will be revisited as far as market cap goes. I think a lot of coins do come back into value from these previous pricings, and we do ultimately go a lot higher in the market cap of the altcoins as well as Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is the tide that raises all boats going forward from this point. Okay, so there you have it, the altcoin market, how to play these cycles. Again, summer months, pretty bearish, but you want to get positioned going into November. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe. It really helps out our channel, and we appreciate you guys watching our videos. And ultimately, look forward to seeing you guys in our room. Take care. Bye-bye.
Trade Genius.